I remember you talking in one of your videos. This started as like a hobby.
Yeah, 100%.
But how have you turned your hobby into a business?
It's just you, at a certain point after you do something for long enough, you get good enough at it, you become undeniable, and people will start reaching out to you for your work once you hit a certain point. Before, as I would reach out to people and ask them if I could photograph their cars, and a lot of people wouldn't, because I was just some fucking kid with 100 followers on Instagram, and no one wanted to do it because there was no value in my exposure because I had no following.
Right.
And then over time, people started messaging me asking to collab, and to this point, it's people message me asking me how much. So it all rolls. Over time, things build, and like I said, you become undeniable, and people want your work. There becomes a desire for your work.
How many years have you been doing this so far?
About 3.5.
3.5. So it started back in 2016.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive. For 3 years, 3.5 years?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, they say it takes four years to start off a business, right? Or
yeah, once I kind of got into it, my main goal is after 5 years, I want to quit my job and do this full time. And we're almost there.
Word. So where do you get that entrepreneurial spirit? Where do you get that mindset from, that entrepreneur? Because you and your brother, like, not to put you in the same box, but you and your brother also have that same like spirit that I get.
I've had that since I was a child, man. I'm out there raking leaves, selling lemonades, reading books on how to make money when I was just a young kid. Like, it's always been a part of me. I've always been an entrepreneur, and I just really had to find something that I've tried so many things. Like, street driven isn't the first thing I've tried. I've constantly been trying to find different things and different avenues to make money, whether they're good avenues or not.
Word.
But I've always been trying, and then eventually you find something that you really enjoy and something you want to pursue.
So can you tell me any of your previous entrepreneurial ventures that you can say on camera?
I got into Amazon FBA, kind of where online arbitrage, where you go out to stores and you buy shit that is cheaper than it would sell on Amazon, and then you sell it on Amazon for an upmarket price. I made a bit of money doing that. I've flipped sneakers a little bit. A lot of it I can't really say too much about. But
I mean, you can say as much as you can, right?
Yeah, but I've always been out there hustling.
Word.
Whether it was frowned upon or not.
Right.
I've never stopped. I'm always trying to. Since I was a young child, I told myself I'm not going to work at a 9-to-5 job.
Word.
Yeah.
So, like, were any of your parents were any of your parents a business owner, or
no?
That was just like something you were born with, like you just.
Yeah, we grew up pretty poor, and just the hunger makes you desire more things. My dad's a very hardworking person, and I've always aspired to be like him, but in my own way, do my own thing.
Word. So, I wanted to ask, with 403 Street Driven, you've built it up to a point where now you're doing merch.
Correct.
How important is merchandise into what you guys are trying to build with your brand?
I wouldn't say it's super important, but that's another avenue I've always wanted to do. Like, how cool every young kid has dreamed about having a clothing company. And now that we have the market and the exposure to actually sell our things, like, I have fucking ideas galore on merch that I want to make. It's just been saving up that money to spend this huge money designing, producing, and all that stuff with this merch, because you can't make 10 shirts. You run out of a size instantly. You got to buy these huge quantities.
Right.
If you have the demand.
Right. Yo, shout outs to, we're repping that shit, you know what I'm saying?
There's one right there, Pop Socket.
Bingo. Yes. So shouts out. Now, I wanted to ask, what happens when you guys want to expand beyond the 403 Street Driven, like beyond the 403 area? Now, I know you've done shows and collaborations, outside in the smaller towns.
Right.
But what happens when you guys want to go to Toronto? Or what happens when you guys want to go to the States? Or a different country? Are you still 403 Street Driven?
100%, man. We represent Calgary till I die. Like, we're bringing Calgary with us. Calgary's raised us, inspired us. It's part of who we are, so I'll always work under that. I've shot like nasal spray commercials under 403 Street Driven.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
So, okay, so what?
Weddings, real estate.
what do people think? Like, what are the businesses when they approach you? What do they think about the name? Does it have like a negative connotation to it? They're like, ooh, it's street. We don't know what this is. Or how do you overcome that?
I've never really had a problem, honestly. It's never been brought up to me. That street driven to me is like, yeah, it has its back roots of we grew up on the streets and stuff like that. But then again, it's the fact of building a car and having a car, you're driven by the streets, like driving your car quite literally street driven.
You know, it's just dope because we're literally in a car right now.
Yeah, exactly. Driving down the streets, you know?
Yes. Word. So that's pretty much my last thing that I want to end it off with is we got to end it off with the freestyle.
Okay.
Now, I hit you up previous to this. And for those that don't know, if you want to come in the drive-by, I'm going to need you to spit at least 4 bars.
Fair enough.
Now, I know my man over here is not a spitter.
I'm not a rapper.
He's not a rapper. But I asked him, and you said you're okay with it.
Yeah, man, deal's a deal.
Give me 4 bars minimum. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to throw on a beat.
Okay.
And I'm going to just see what happens.
All right, it's going to be so embarrassing, but yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to throw on a beat and let's just see what happens. Shout out to Beats by Con. This is the front seat freestyle.